We get all different types of guests joining us on our adventures. For the kayaking and trekking and cycling trips, we get people who are looking for a really fun vacation. They're active, adventurous people, but they don't want to organize a whole trip on their own. Maybe they're not familiar with the activity that they're participating in, so they want somebody to organize it for them, and they want to go on a really fun, well-planned out itinerary.
Guests that go on the Crete trip, it's all over the lot, and that's part of why I love it. We get folks who've never kayaked before in their lives. We have people who've been paddling 20, 30, 40 years, and everything in between, and it works for everybody.
I decided to go to Crete because I'd seen some of your brochures and read the material. It was a part of the world I'd never been to before, and I was very curious about going. It seemed like a well-organized, civilized way to go. And the idea of the blue water and the temperature of the water and the beaches and just the whole picture just had wonderful appeal to me.
I knew, liked, and trusted the people with Northwest Passage. And I had a friend that had gone on the Crete trip a couple years earlier, so I decided that was the trip for me. I'd never even had a passport, I'd never been to Europe, and I was just hooked. I mean, if I never paddled any other place but Crete, I would die a happy man, but there are other places I want to see, particularly in the Mediterranean and maybe other Greek trips.
The group of people were so congenial. There were activities all times of the day, wonderful meals.
Fresh vegetables, a Greek salad like nothing you can ever get in the States. Fresh cooked fish and meats, and it's wonderful.
People there are wonderful, beautiful people. The food is wonderful. The drink is wonderful.
It was the best trip I think I've ever been on, from end to end.
All of the small stuff that individuals do when they are planning adventures of their own is pretty much all handled. And the staff is always there checking to make sure that you're not only comfortable, but that the things that you might be expecting are being taken care of. You know, what you need in your boat, and things as small as the sunscreens. So I would have to say that for me, it really was made effortless, and all I had to do was to enjoy the paddling and the adventure portion of it.
My wife Marcia and I came into the airport in Crete, and we met the people coming off the first trip, and we said, how was the kayaking? They said the weather was terrible. We didn't kayak a single day. And I said, oh, that's terrible, that's awful. He said, oh no, we had a great time. We had a wonderful time. He said they took us here, they took us there, we saw this, we saw that, we did this, we did that. That's one of the things about the Northwest Passage that I find is they're versatile. They're responsive to the situation, they cover all bases, and one of the most resourceful groups I've seen.
Safety is a #1 priority for all of our trips and expeditions. It's forefront in all of our guides' minds in every decision that they make. And it's something that we also teach our guests to watch out for. We teach them things that they can look for, and if they're ever not feeling good about a certain situation, or if they're nervous about doing something for the first time, it's something that we encourage them to share with us so that we can help them navigate the experience so that it's always positive and rewarding and as fun as possible.
We are always assessing the conditions every day, as those can change every day. We'll get the weather report from the ferry captain, also check things out online, and then we also just do our own visual assessments and internal assessments.
We're very intimate as a guiding group with the areas that we're traveling, which allows us to make judgment calls that provide the group oftentimes, great weather to paddle in. Other times they're challenged with the environment, and because we've been able to teach them the skills, they feel comfortable and they grow into those challenges.
Sometimes the water is real calm and the weather's great, and other times the water has not been so calm and maybe a little drizzle and sometimes a lot of wind, but the coastline is fabulous, and if it reaches a point where it's dangerous, you're out of the water. So it's just it's a wonderful place to be.
I think we would not have done it had we not had friends who had already done it and told us how much fun it was. And they're active people, and while I'm in good shape, I wouldn't say I'm an athlete, and I certainly haven't done any kayaking, and in fact I don't even really like the water that much. But I found it to be so much fun, and of course you don't have to you don't end up in the water. I mean, I was worried I would fall out of the kayak, but I never did fall out of the kayak. And the weather was beautiful, and the temperature of the water was great. So I think that just them telling us how much fun it was exciting enough to want to try it.
I would recommend Northwest Passage, and I have recommended it to everyone I talk to about this trip. And again, because it's well organized, you're well taken care of, it's a wonderful value for the cost. It's unique. Other people don't do things like this. And the guides are all experienced, and I recommend it to everyone that wants to talk about it.
Why would I recommend Northwest Passage? I guess the answer to that question is why not? There's some of the greatest, most experienced professional people I've ever met.
The level of experience of the people that are guiding you on the trip is exceptional. Their competence within that particular sport is exceptional. And based on other trips that I've heard about, whether it's kayaking or dog sledding, it carries over from one activity to the other. I don't think you're going to get shortchanged in any trip that you would plan with Northwest Passage. I've only done the kayaking, and I'm going to keep doing the kayaking, but it just is the level of competence. I think that's the thing, and trust that the trust that you feel about the people that are guiding your trip, but at the same time, the respect that those people have for you as a participant.
I would say if you are in reasonable shape and are willing to try something different, knowing that everything's going to be taken care of for you from the time you arrive to the time you leave, I would recommend it to anybody who wants to have a little fun.
Come on. Yes! Oh. You'd like a little boobity.
That was...
Yeah, I didn't even shake it or anything, but it has been in the bottom of a kayak.